Welcome to Coffee Talk with Chel and Coles, where candid conversations brew bold perspectives. Every episode, Chel and Coles sip and spill on life, love, and leveling up with humor, heart, and hard earned wisdom. Whether you're here for the laughs, the lessons, or just good company, you'll leave with something to think about. So grab your mug, press play, and join the talk.
At my situation last week, and it was very draining, and it returned this week, and now I had a terrible time trying to sleep as well. I woke up at well, you know, Pierre woke up at 7 and thus woke me up. And when he left for work, I went back to sleep for about well, no, I just laid back down for about an hour. But I'm just thinking about what is wrong that causes all of this hormonal imbalance? Because this ain't natural. And I know that it's like the only alternative that they aim and push and strive for when you're having any type of hormonal imbalance for a woman. Once it gets to a certain point, they want to cut you open, cut on you. And I'm like, but that's not how God intended things to be. And it's like, how toxic is our environment to where you don't have any real options? The medication that they give you is questionable. Even, if you find one that actually works, it's questionable. Then, they want you to have surgery. That's, I know women that still had serious issues even after surgery. And it's just all so shady. It's like something too much is going on. And I think they know more than what they let on to knowing, which really make me think about, the CEO that got shot this past last weekend or so, and how much suffering everyday people go through, even if they paying into their health system, no matter what the situation. It's like it's always so much that we have to deal with, and without any real solutions, it's just very frustrating.
Indeed, it is.
That was my issue this morning, um, dealing with the woes and pains and struggles of that. And I know a lot of women are going through the same thing. And it's like collectively, we don't have enough answers to really support us. And then you know what's interesting? So I was watching, I'm the queen of YouTube. I am the YouTube queen. They can come for the throne, but I will not be dethroned. I am the queen of YouTube. I live on YouTube, right? That's what I sip on in the morning. So I was watching um, a series on YouTube, and I think I sent it to you. But a person who is happy with the political outcome that has been thrust upon America, they were actually using testosterone therapy, right?
Mhm.
So they were talking to one of their colleagues, co-workers, something of that sort. And they informed the individual that, well, that falls under that category of like gender affirming.
Mhm.
It goes into that gender affirming category. And because the person who's the head of the current administration to be coming up, um, is against that, you may lose access to that care. And I thought that to be very comical because that individual may lose something that they need desperately. And it just makes me think about, okay, so what's going to happen with those of us who need different forms of, birth control to help regulate our hormones or things of that sort. And even now, it's like this thing is so wide, so far stretching to where, um, you know, as an independent contractor, one of the job assignments that I'm doing now is with the medical field. And the question popped up today in training. It's like, well, if people do what they're saying they're going to do to affect healthcare and everything within the next few months, will we even still have a job in this sector? Because so many services are going to be removed and cut off.
Mhm.
And it's just all so corrupt and dark, and it's not any answers that are being answered. It's not any questions that really need to be answered being answered, I think.
I know what's about to be popping. I need to get my body back to the point where I can donate plasma and go ahead and stack as many would-be side hustles and turn those into an a la carte meal of choice so I can get my own insurance. Because the situation would happen, a job hopper wouldn't tight anyway. And there's so many things that they don't realize impact them, like when they do things that attack people that are unfavorable to them. It's really shooting himself in the foot, but it take a long time before you realize you got hit. Like when your adrenaline is pumping and you don't realize you got shot, and then you bleeding out, and you're like, what to do now? They're gonna realize that because it's like, poor people make rich people rich. Rich people don't spend money. Rich people get endorsements. Rich people get gifted stuff. Rich people don't have to worry about all that. You got insurance. Your mama ain't got no insurance.
That is
Your
so
great
true.
grandma Winnie, you wouldn't studying her. And you damn sure ain't gonna wipe her ass. You might just let it be unwiped. So depending on how you feel about her, how many kisses she gave you, how many cute little candies out of purse when you was a baby. So I mean, like that's all. That's something that they don't really have to contend with because it doesn't affect them. And I mean, I'm not even shading the conservatives for that because it's like most people I know are like that. I was talking to, I'm going to rename this person from what I normally call them.
Yeah.
I was talking to um, a longtime associate for whom I see no quick end to our association, who
Hmm.
uh, thinks that because of this person's policies and everything that they will be safe from the fallout. And I'm just like, it's you can read what's on the line, but you need to read what's between the lines. I promise you they don't know what's up. Like Social Security and stuff like that, they keep us functioning enough. They beat us down, they burned us out, and then we have something to fall back on. They make it hard as hell to get it in the first place, but at least there's a possibility. The possibility keeps us pushing forward. Then we don't have our regular benefits. They want to take away Medicaid. They want to take away Social Security. They want to take away all these things, and women can't get the health benefits we need in the first place. It's just like, screw women. But no, women should stop screwing you because you have taken away the access to birth control. No birth control, no pudanda. How about that? You
And what
married?
if,
No, even that. Oh no, we have different politics. Go and call your mistress, and hope she ain't, and hope her pudanda ain't sneezing alphabets, and do what you do, and hope her political standing haven't been affected. Because if she a mistress, she might want access to get rid of some situations. You going over there, you go to I'm not gonna throw out nobody's name, so don't nobody get offended. But I'm just saying, like, I don't, I can get indignant about it, but I'm more so like, how it was like, what's that song? Truth is, I'm tired I'm tired of
Yes.
so many of these things that I just am at the point where even the fight is kind of gone out of me. I just want to crawl up into the fetal position in a corner and just sleep. Just just sleep. Because we are really going to have to work hard. Ain't gonna be no options to work smart. We are going to have to take this last little month, this last little 3 weeks, and detox and do everything we can because we really gotta see what's what out here. They really trying to destabilize some things, not realizing the back effect of that. Like I shop at a place that I know to be, in my opinion, evil, but the savings is so good, and you know it's questionable why it's reasonable like that. It's real questionable, but I can't afford to fight the power. Like I literally can't. So,
And they
um,
know that, and they put us in those positions to where, they keep a knee.
yeah, and but check this out here. So if they do actually go ahead and try to get rid of the government benefits, SNAP, TANF, all that good stuff, they're the employees of that place have been, it's documented, it's on all sorts of documentaries. They couldn't survive without government assistance. So who gonna have to come up out their pocket or close down their empire? Questionable business. Number three, one of the top businesses in the world. I ain't gonna pull up the statistics. I can't be bothered. But because that's where I'm at. I can't be bothered. I'm just like, let's see. I'm gonna have to be a snake oil saleswoman. Uh, do what I do. I'm licensed to sell things. I don't like to actually sell them. I like to just inform. And if you want to buy it, then that's the business. But now I got to sell because I need to afford the things that they don't want us to be able to afford, forgiving the fact that we allow them to afford the lap of luxury and get the lap dance of luxury too.
Oh, I like that. The lap dance of luxury. That should be the title of this podcast today. I really like that.
Today,
Um,
the lap dance of luxury.
yes. But essentially that's what it is because um they get off on it. It's something that they get all the perks from, but at the end of the day, the used and abused, um victimized, or not victimized, but what's the term, Shell? Objectified workers,
Mm-hmm.
just like workers in the adult entertainment industry. They have to, at the end of the day, really um, do the soul searching and the rebuilding themselves up to do that dance again for the next event. They suffer so tremendously, but the CEOs who's receiving those figurative lap dances, you know, they can't get enough, and they just keep coming back, and they keep having all of the shiny golden objects to lure everyone back to them, so to speak. But yeah, just been thinking about those things lately, because regardless as to, you know, your stance personally, everybody is going to be affected. And I know the whole mess around and find out thing is in full effect, but what I respect about the majority of the people who understand the real mess around and find out is the fact that everybody is finding out, not just the ones that um, were in blissful ignorance, but everybody is being adversely affected. So, as per usual, we need the Most High because that's the only solution, really, to the madness that's going on because this stuff is purely demonic. The way the manipulation, the way people blindly follow, you know, would-be dictators and just to be a part of an in crowd or a movement or something that's going to hurt other people drastically is very sick and twisted. Oh, mm, yeah, say some extra prayers tonight. You know how you have friends that, and this is once again, it goes tying back into what I was saying earlier about executing, delivering, taking my taking my own advice. It's so triggering to me when I have a friend or someone who harps on not being happy about a situation, and they come to you and they want to talk to you about it and they want to vent about it. And cool, I'm down for that. But once that's all said and done, what are you going to do? That is so triggering to me. And I had a situation like that recently to where this particular friend is venting about people who don't really have her best interest at heart. They've shown her that time and time again. And my question is, when do you establish those boundaries to walk away or to, cut this person off completely if need be? When are you going to establish those boundaries instead of, I just don't understand that, really? Or, express to them what needs to be said, put it all on the table, but something needs to be done. If it's just so toxic to where you continuously on a verge of a psychotic break because of your stress and frustration, you got to walk away. You got to let it go. Really, it is not about loyalty at that point because that individual is not being loyal to you. Okay. As a friend, as someone that cares about you, if they cannot see that they're hurting you and care, if everything has to be so competitive and not uplifting or upbuilding, that's dangerous. And this friend called me to, vent. And like I said, I'm all for that. We can confide and, chop it up however you need to. But when it came time for, my input, it was so marginalized and chopped down. And it was like, I don't know if you remember the commercial. This was years ago. It was a cable commercial where I love this commercial. These marketing geniuses with these commercials, they deserve Emmys, daytime Emmys, or, something with the way that they illustrate some of these points. But years ago, this was over 20 years ago, there was a cable commercial where everyone's it's a work day, everyone's in the office. One person came into the office in a terrible mood and took it out on the person at the front desk. The person at the front desk was in a great mood, but because the customer or whoever came into the office in a terrible mood, it changed the front desk receptionist person. It changed their mood, and then they went to another coworker, and it changed the whole office. At the end of the commercial, everybody was upset because of that one person who had an attitude. And that's how that situation was when the friend called me. I was asleep, actually. Just opening my eyes, I answered the phone. What's going on? They're venting, they going off and everything. I'm trying to you know, understand what's going on. But because they were so heated, they weren't even in a good space to, you know, converse with me about the problem.
Mhm.
And we still haven't even talked since then. It's been a few weeks now. But once again, I know my boundaries. I know I'm going to show you one way or the other. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to go back and forth. But give yourself whatever cooling down thing you need, the toxicity from others.
Mhm.
That needs to be eliminated. And I came across a Facebook post which said, "Why seek revenge on people who are already miserable?" And that's so apropos because um, it's just going to take away from you. Like, what's the point you trying to accomplish with this person going back and forth? They've shown you who they are. You know, clearly they don't really have your best interest at heart. You're still thinking about this. You know, they got condos in your head, like Cardi B said, rent free. And they off living their life, doing whatever. They did whatever to you days, weeks ago, whatever. And it's still bringing you down, bringing you to this point to behave like this. So I wanted to emphasize that because I came across something else. Um, One of my, once again, I live on Facebook. I mean, YouTube. I live on YouTube. But one of my, it's a couple that I follow. Um, and they have a bunch of kids, right? They
Mhm.
have like maybe anywhere from 5 to, I want to say like 8 kids. They have a lot of kids, a big household. But the mom just recently, and she just had a baby, like her youngest, I think she had last year, either last year or this year. And she was talking and she came on and she was saying how she just had a heart attack at her young age because of stress. And I'm like, whoa. And she said she was driving, talking to her sister, and um, the issue that she's having, she was thinking about it. And before she could even get it out her mouth, she said, I felt the tightness in my chest again. And I had to pull over because she was driving. I guess she was driving when she was talking to her sister. She said she had to pull over because she was going to have a medical emergency
Mhm.
because of the stress. And I'm like, it's never a good thing to get to that point, and it is possible. It's real. Stress is really a killer. And we just think, oh, we are adults. We have to deal with this. No, a lot of the stuff that we put ourselves through.
Mhm.
It's because of us, the choices that we're making, or the lack thereof, because not being decisive enough to put up those boundaries. This narcissistic stuff is real. People are real narcissists out here. People are real social and psychopaths. All of the DM5 check marks, um, all of those things, all that stuff is real. And if you're not protecting yourself and your inner peace and your inner self, because we're bombarded with everything. We're just exposed to all this stuff and all these types of people and personalities. And that's a given, dealing with life, dealing with society. But you got to know how to navigate through all that, you know. So That's just been on my mind a lot. I don't like people who always playing a victim. You know, I can't condone that. If you're gonna bring it to my door, okay, vent, let it out, sis. Okay, now after that, what are you gonna do about it? What's next? Let's strategize. Let's bounce some ideas off. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be because of another person. It can be a work situation, you know, whatever, relationship. It doesn't matter. Anything that's bothering you to that extent, you have to really learn how to let it go. Whatever it is, you can't just keep picking it back up. And there was another thing. I think Facebook has so many wise philosophy statements. But it was another thing, and I had this as like a pinned post on my Facebook account, but it was saying that yesterday is heavy, put it down. And that really resonated with me. I think that is so true. So that was my, focal point for today. Really analyzing that, really analyzing those things, not carrying any of this stuff over into the next year. The next year is going to have its own challenges, and I'm trying to resolve as much this year and leave behind whatever is unnecessary and not carry it over until the next year. But, I just really stand on that.
I hear the intensity coming from you. I don't think that it's natural or easy to separate emotions from logic, and the I don't understand that mindset. To separate logic from emotions. Usually, if somebody gets you to the point where you're in a relationship, familial, romantic, or anything else, that they've got their hooks in you deep enough that it feels like you're going to be losing something if you leave, the logical response is not going to be realistic for a person, and there's chemical and other reasons why that's true. So I have a lot of trouble with that personally, for reasons that you know me well enough to know. Like, let's say, for instance, if the person that you love sets the sun, that person's wonderful. That person isn't toxic, but that person loves somebody toxic, and you're attached to the non-toxic person who is toxic by association. Do you separate from the person who sets the sun and the moon and the stars and the mountains and the rivers, who is mostly good, and despite being connected to a toxic person, does more than most people could do on their best day on their worst regularly? Do you forego that relationship? Do you live your life with that void in your spirit because logic states that you should? And then what would make you so sure that with that aching loss that you would have the functionality to do better? And or that the people that are around you that are already telling you, well, if you're not coming up with solutions, then peace out. That they would be able to help you from this emotional void that you are lacking, that even though you would detach yourself from the situation, that you're still carrying that void, and that you can't just fill it with successes, because emotions are deeper than that. I have a lot of personal reasons that I really identify with. I'm a fuss and I'm a cuss about my relationships. But if we're talking about, get a certification or something like that, that's a matter of time. That's going to get done. If we're talking about break up with my sister, that ain't happening. But if I got to lose other people to do it, I'm like, all right, most people to me, they're a dime a dozen. Like, my sister, though, in my eyes, if nobody else's, that's going to be, I'm using my sister as an example, because I don't have to quit her. She quit me. But, it would just be like, that's not something I have the emotional capacity to do.
That's really interesting. Because typically you're you're very right in the statement you just made about they typically quit you before you would quit them, being that those people that have those type of personalities, they usually walk away first. But they pop back up, they try to weave in and out. But no, that's the thing that I love most about our um communications about this, the difference in our perspectives, you know. So, question, do you believe in unconditional love?
I don't think there can be any other kind.
Wow. Me on the opposite spectrum. I absolutely do not believe in unconditional love. I don't think it's realistic. And because love begets or begats certain types of qualities and certain types of attributes. And because of that, those conditions and stipulations is what really sets it apart from any other emotion or attachment to me. And I've noticed that um, just looking at certain dynamics with people in my life, certain relatives who really I'm like, okay, they set you, they set the house on fire with you in it, and you were running after them in the getaway car. My mind just can't really embrace that. But that's been my stance for some time. But once again, I definitely see your point, about not being any other way. Um, Especially, certain dynamics people would think of with a mother-child type of relationship or something like that. But yeah, even for me, it's still like what you mentioned earlier, for example, um, about not um, walking away from a person. So not all situations are created equal. When I'm okay, say for instance with my friend, and I don't mean to just pick up a relationship and just throw it completely in the trash. I don't mean that. That's why I also mentioned about having certain boundaries too, so that you're protecting, this person, they're probably not on the same, vibe that you're on. They're not on the same wavelength. So to protect yourself until they realize, you may have to navigate the waters with them differently and have certain boundaries. But you cannot just allow yourself, personally, I just don't think it's healthy to allow yourself to be so open and exposed to continue to receive that level of, you know, toxicity.
I feel you. When I'm very specific about it when I'm actually like if I go into detail. Love to me is unconditional. I don't stop loving you because you're toxic. I just don't fuck with you no more. I can love you from over here. I'm in the house. I'm an introvert. Most of the time I come out the house to love somebody is by request. I don't gotta leave I don't gotta pick up the phone. I don't need to hear your voice. We're not screwing. I don't need to it's not that intricate for me. And I can see you annually. The love is here. Matter of fact, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I tend to think more of the positive times the less I see you. So I can love
I
you.
can relate.
I can love you with not a single solitary condition. However, if I don't like you while I love you, I don't want to be around you. Even if you want to be around me. When me and my stepmommy was talking about that, we was like, I'd rather be liked Now, I don't want it rather. I want it all. I'm greedy. I want to be loved and I want to be liked. I don't want to be liked all the time. I think that's impossible. I've met me. I'm tough. I'm a series of issues. The magazine subscription is not a monthly. It's probably every other day. I got a lot of issues. I don't expect anybody to like me every day. I do expect people to love me every day. If you love me on Monday, but you don't love me on Tuesday, I don't want to ask with you. I ain't got time. But my love is unconditional. My like is conditional. But like you said, the toxic people, unless you have an abundance of emotional and financial reserves, they will see themselves out. It don't take much. It takes one or two no's for them to ghost you time and again. It's not Casper, it's the uncles. They're not the friendly ghost, So you don't really have to do much. You just got to have a no one day. Just know, whatever gave you the strength to say no, you could be on cycle. You ain't had the energy. You ain't sleep last night. All them niceties is 2 bowel movements away. You don't know where they at, all them niceties. You don't have them. Not today. I'm like, yeah, I love you every day of the week, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single minute, every microsecond. I just don't have to fork with you just because I love you. But if
I
I
love the
like
fork.
you, I'm hard to get rid of because I had already effed, so I had to clean it up later. But if I like you, I'm hard to get rid of. If I like you, I'm like, what you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. Let me send you random texts every Thursday or something, just to let you know I'm here. Even though I don't want to get in the car and put on a bra and come over. But I can love you to the moon and back. I do not have to like you. I do not have to want to be around you. I do not want to have to share air with you. But if your heart is hurting and you want to call me and cry, I just know you're not the person I can call when I need to cry.
No, don't get me wrong. I agree strongly with a lot of elements of what you're saying. Once again, I'm not saying ball up the relationship and put it in the trash, but I like the way you peeled back the layers of what I think I'm trying to get across. Because it's not always that simple. I just don't know to what extent. It's like, I think sometimes some people don't understand that the world is full of facades. And remember in the women of Brewster's Place, that wall was there, separating the ghetto, the projects that they were living in from the rest of the world. It's like this is what was going on in their little neck of the hood.
Mm-hmm.
But that wall was there and it represented so much of a boundary, or a facade. It was fake. And it's like, you can break through that. And some people, it seem like they don't know, hey, this ain't all there is. This doesn't have to, don't limit my point, I guess I'm trying to say at this moment with my brain fog, basically, is that don't limit yourself. You don't have to limit yourself even to one emotion to the next. Just because you experience this with this individual at this moment, that doesn't have to corrupt your mood for the rest of the day.
I agree with so many of the things you're saying. I will say, usually, again, I'm very empathetic to this because I live in a 10 glass house. So, and the people who live with me will be able to tell you in a bit day. I will tell you, and they probably think I wear it like a badge of honor. I'm like, I have major depressive disorder and general anxiety disorder, and I'm an introvert. And I promise you, the one that's not a diagnosis is the most important one of the bunch. If I don't get my charge, everything that everybody does compounds. It just stacks up on top of each other. So that one thing that one person did may seem like the reason, and I could not argue you down about it. Like, I could not convince my mama, my auntie, my nephew, my dad that one thing isn't the reason. Oh, we're late to go over co-parents' house. This is why she's on this whole thing, or she's burning the candle at one. It has to be the thing that I think it is. That's what's wrong with her, and that's what it is. And I know how to solve it, and she just won't listen. And I'm like, but I'm in this. I'm fairly self-aware, and I'm in this whole body and this whole mind the whole time. And I'm like, it's a story that includes so many characters. So many people have been playing double dutch in a competition for a cash prize on the nub of my last M&F nerve. And you only saw Tico do it. And you think it's Tico, and I'm talking about Tico because that's the inspiration for the conversation. But being Tico, if your name is Tico, I'm sorry. I just motivation. I'm talking about you now because you're the last one, and also you might be a safer target than the combination of people. Because I might have chose Tico. Everybody else might not have been a choice. I might have been assigned some of them. Tico, I went out into the store and picked him. So even when he get on my nerves more than anybody else, he was a choice I made. He's a choice I continue to make. The other ones feel like, you know how many people I got to fall out with, 60 more people to fall out with. Tico, I don't know your people. I don't like Tico people like that. But I picked Tico. Maybe Tico laid a pipe. Maybe Tico do something you don't know. Maybe Tico do something can't be replaced by your pep talk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he laid a pipe, fixed the plumbing, fix all the switches, make sure the electricity running good. You don't know what he do. You don't know. Nobody knows the pleasure I seen. You don't know what Tico doing. He did something, I'm telling you. But meanwhile, I chose him. And that's my man. I'm stick beside him. You've seen the TikToks and the Facebook and the YouTube shorts. But the other people, it's like, damn, I want to fall out with I'm sorry, Sanaa. But I'm related to her. My mama and her mama is best friends. What are we gonna do at the family picnic? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's 6 degrees of separation. It's a lot of turmoil. It's a lot of people I gotta ask to come to better help with me on these 2-week free trials I keep milking on Open Farm. It's it's excessive, and so I just gotta cuss and fuss to you. I try, when you want to be a nice friend, you try to zazz it up. I got 5 friends. I'm gonna call this one and fuss Monday. And that one, if us Tuesday, I do think it gets a little abusive when you pick the same friend every time. You like, no, just this one.
Now, I must say, there's levels to okay, that's enough now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Some things and situations, I totally get it. Yeah, this is the dynamics of this relationship is because nobody's perfect. And if it was just that easy to just walk away from anything, we all would be in different situations.
Mm-hmm.
But when once again this girl was about to have a heart attack again, just thinking about the stuff that caused the first heart attack. And that's my point. When it's so freaking toxic to the point to where you are suffering and losing sleep, and that person is snoring and do the laugh in the sleep because they're having good dreams,
Mm-hmm.
because they gave those toxic energies to you, then that's a real problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's different. Any relationship, there is no perfect, anything in connection with us as humans. But when it's so toxic to where you're really, and so many people is pulling your coattail on this situation. So many people are trying to tell you, but you can't, you've become deaf to you can't even receive anything because all you see is the rage that this person puts you in, to where now you're feeling like, oh, everyone is picking on me, and now it's you becoming a victim of your own creation and circumstance. That's so bad. You know, it's levels. It's major levels. It's not just, oh, off with their head across the board, or whoever it is, whatever, cut them off, shoot them down, move on. No. When you're getting physically ill, when you're losing so much sleep on a regular basis, and especially it can be something that happened weeks ago. Oh, can you believe they said that, girl? They said it to me too. I'm finna eat this bowl of ice cream and keep laughing at this movie that I'm watching. That's the issue.
I feel you. I get you. And I'm at this point again. I'm just I agree with so many of the things you said. I do it like this because and here we go. Where the countdown? Where the countdown and they at? Let's say y'all running out of time. Okay, we got like 10 minutes. For me, it's like this. I've had people offer me solutions. So, I'm an introvert, and so I live with people, and people say you can come stay over here. I'm like, are you leaving? Because the solution isn't different people that I'm not already beefed out with to get beefed out with. I have said it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Am I coming over and you leaving? Because we need another solution. I'm open to these. Do you want to get together in this big crew of people that just will love me to pieces and do a GoFundMe and send me to an Airbnb for a month? Because if you can get me away from whatever connection I have that you want me away from, and you sponsoring, some sponsorship hits different.
Ooh la la.
Sponsorship hits different. Imagine somebody saying, you ain't got to call Tyrone. I got an Airbnb because imagine we reversed Tyrone. She was staying at his house, so she leaving instead. I'm gonna put you up in an Airbnb for a month. You got a job, keep going to your job. You can extend the stay. I'll help you a little bit. We'll help you, the collective, because this big, great, beautiful village you got. But the solution does not seem possible in that abusive chemical imbalance that you created, because it's not, when it's your situation and you're swimming in this current of emotions, it's not going to be the same for anybody else the way that it is for you. I can see your mess clearly. I can solve your problems. That's my personality. Oh, I cannot resolve my own issues, but I can help you with yours. Please help me exit from the tomfoolery of my life and let me solve some of your problems, because they look so much more surmountable than mine to me, and vice versa. So, but a sponsorship usually, we're not the kind of sponsorship where you pay for things. You put the money in the person's hand. Here's the Airbnb. That's got your name on it, but here's money in your hands. And it's not an allowance. I'm not going to pay. No, I'm not, I'm just like real. But can we ever really offer that? Because if you struggling, your friends are usually struggling. It's like, I have good intentions for you. I have logic that I can offer you in your struggles. Oh, girl, that situation giving you hypertension, you should walk away and go stay on somebody's couch, and then let y'all relationship deteriorate and get on each other's nerves. And then they was mad that you was in the relationship talking about the hypertension. Now you got hypertension on the house. Oh, I miss Tico. Oh, my Tico. Oh, Lord, Tico. They are snoring and crying and sniffing on your couch in the night, and you want to send them to their mama house, but their mama done went down south. She retired, and she don't want to live down to her job to his. And now y'all done got ready to fall out, and you was trying to save her. And it's a lot. It's 6-degree stuff is happening. And so I'm just like, I think it's like we all have really good intentions with that person, but you'd be like, yeah, you kind of toxic by association of the person that you are obsessed with, y'all situation, and you can't seem to let it go. But all I can offer you is these very logical solutions that you're a smart person, or I wouldn't be kicking it with you, that you've definitely already thought of and haven't been able to see your way to. So, but if I just hit this scratch off, I can give you a solution. Now, if I tell you I got $5,000 net, you ain't got to pay it back, an Airbnb paid in a rental car, and you say, oh, Tico, I'll be like, and thank you and good night. I've done everything I can. I've done everything I can. I'm not going to block you, but I'm going to screen my calls.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Ain't it funny how money can solve a bunch of stuff, though?
Girl,
Even the stuff that you're going through, just make it a little bit more palatable. Make it a little bit smoother going down.
that like I know you can't play with the scratch off and everything like that. I think if somebody else played it, you take a few dollars off the top, but I know you
You
can't
ain't
play
got to
them.
tell me where you get your dollars from.
Exactly. See, but that's always a solution. Cause me and my daddy was talking about that the whole time. Like people be like, yeah, you can do this, and be like, but wouldn't it be nice if they was like, here go, you know,
Hmm.
couple couple of them Benjamins all stacked up together. You just get somebody be like, girl, what's going on with you? And you look at your cash app, and he be like, and then Tico be in the room talking about some, tell me something good. You be like, tell me something else, nigga. I got to go. Cash app. Like, see if it happens. See if it works. Do that to a friend of yours. Just get everybody together and say, we ain't celebrating save a lot no more. We gonna give all our money to Sharon and just see if she don't bust up and be like this. But she might be the dangerous one. She might be the one that get Tico to fight. So you got to walk the line.
What are we even talking about now? It's so much.
People that don't have a follow through, so people that can't get rid of people. Like you have a friend that's cool people, but you ready to give up on them because they in a toxic situation, they blood pressure all high, they about to have a heart attack in the car on the freeway, and you like, I can't deal with you no more because you still dealing with so and so. And I'm like, but all we can offer them is logical solutions that they're smart enough that we know that they've already thought of.
Oh, and then they get offended.
Yeah, because it's like, do you really think I haven't thought of that? And then I leave out the house, and if this person, they might not lay their hands on me, but that might be psychological
Yeah.
warfare that has happened. My eating habits have changed. Just the chemicals in my body have changed as a result of it because there's so much that plays into this. And the person who, is drinking water and trying to get themselves in order, they're like, girl, I'm clear. I meditated today. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, and I
You
didn't
need to
come
come
to
to the
fight.
light. Yeah,
I didn't come to fight.
like I love you, but you still in my zen. Like this is no. Do you know how many I don't smoke, but I had to sit in the car while other people were smoking so I could catch a contact. I needed to calm down. Yeah, I don't wanna catch the hands that was beating you up. I didn't sit in the car for that. But I think about it because all the time, because over the years, people be like, hey, girl, you ain't in an abusive relationship or nothing, but I know you want to feel like a grown woman and talk about nasty stuff and say bad words out loud and everything in a few days. And they be like, you can come on over here. I be like, is you leaving? I love you to death, but we will fall out so fast. We
Well, at
fall
least
out
you recognize that about yourself, though. And that's something that I think a lot of people lack. They don't really recognize how they present themselves to others. They just show up and bam, I'm here. This is it. This is what you get. And then when they come back and they say, well, people are telling me I'm abrasive and I'm aggressive and I'm this and that. And all the while, I'm agreeing with them, and I may not agree with their delivery. But when so many people are telling you this, sometimes the words of your enemy are the most important for you to listen to.
Okay.
Because they are not, they ain't got nothing to lose. You already know where they stand. And that's what I think would really benefit people. You can't just be so quick to dismiss what they're saying because they're going to put it to you blunt and they're going to tell you what you may need to work on, whether you like to hear it or not. You feel me?
Yeah, I will say again, coming from a personal place, people will try to give. It's hard to listen to advice from a person who doesn't take it. So that's also a dilemma I think a lot of us face in our personal lives is in the past, somebody has been trying to speak light into us, and we didn't listen. And now years later, we trying to speak light into that person, and they are not receptive because
they're not on that wavelength yet.
Because they were like, there's no reciprocity. You don't listen to good information, but you want me to hold your advice with some kind of reverence, and it's like I can't see it. So, sometimes, and I think I always like to think about, like, did somebody try to save me last year, and I was like, nah, you good, I'm good, and and then it was and now this year I'm trying to tell them something, and they like, you must be out your mind. You don't listen, but you want me to listen. Oh, I see how you do. Oh, hypocrisy is on the menu. Like, so I always have to check back, because I keep texts and emails, and so I got Google Voice. I'd be like, let me see.
We've met.
What we was talking about. Like, oh, she sure did try to save my life last year.
We've met.
And I gave her nothing in return. Damn. She might have good reason not to listen to nothing I'm saying. Now, definitely, I wouldn't say that in your case, because you going to school to be a whole psychiatrist, so it's a different level of levity. But I on a personal level, I just give so much room for that, because I got to get it off my plate, or I'm gonna be on Snapped. I'm gonna be a serial killer. You worried about my hypertension, and you should be worried about when I stop clutching my pearls, because it's the person that's been stressing me out. I'm gonna be like, I love them to death. I love them to death. Tico is on the floor. I didn't. I should have just took an aspirin and went and got a room for the night, but instead, But I get you. We started off talking about how, like, is love unconditional, all those kind of things, and I'm just like, I do still think that I see where you're coming from. I think we think the same things, actually. We just verbalize it differently. Like, I do think that it's time when you have to just say, I love you. I may even like you, but you're a disturbance to my peace because you refuse to see a way out of your situation. And if you refuse to see your way out of your situation, that's your business. But then when you bring that over here and you create roadblocks for me, well, see, that's a problem, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and you are spilling my cup. You're spilling my cup. You done knocked that bad boy down 3-4 times.
And there's an African proverb that says something along the lines of, the water you got from the well yourself is the most precious. You put all that labor into walking a mile to go and get it from the well. It's an African proverb. And every drop is precious because all that labor and hard work that you put into it. And you mentioned the cup, and that water is precious, because you don't know what I've been through to fill up my cup after pouring for everybody else, and then trying to cipher out something enough for me. So yeah, I'm not trying to spill none of it.
Yeah.
Well, my dear Chels, do we have an outro?
Thanks for tuning in to Chel and Coles Coffee Talk. If you're listening to our audio podcast, don't forget to save us to your favorites and leave us a review. It really helps. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a chat. Engage with your girls. We love hearing from you, so let us know your thoughts or drop us a topic you'd like us to tackle next time. Until then, take care and keep the conversation brewing.